we got one waterway done here. Let me show you exactly what we did. So essentially there's a little bit of a draw. It's really hard to see on camera, but all I did was I took this power rake and I angled it, kicked her off to the side, and basically pulled back and just kind of exaggerated a little bit. Pulled some that way, come over here and pulled some that way, and then we went through and drove back and forth a whole bunch to pack it down. That way hopefully it doesn't wash too bad. Now there is quite a bit of material still on top here. It's not like it's just completely bare soil. There are some bare spots, so I'm not worried about getting gullies or real bad washes, but hopefully this can get that water to drain off. There is a natural drain just across the neighbor's property there, because this whole area through here, it's about 1.5 acres, almost 2 acres, stayed really wet last year. You can even see there's a lot of weed stubble still left out here, just because the water pressure, the corn didn't do too good. It was very obvious when I was combining that this area stayed wet. So we got this smoothed out. I've got one more over here. It's a big one. I did do a little bit of work to it yesterday just because I was trying to get the power rake figured out, and it did have a gully to it, so I wanted to get it busted and let it kind of settle a little bit. We're gonna go back over there, smooth that just like I did this here, and hopefully have 2 good waterways that'll keep this field draining properly. Another one down. All right guys, let's check this out. Now this one was quite a bit rougher than the other one. There's a lot more of a fall here. I ended up having to make it a lot longer than I wanted to, that way I could get a steady fall to it. Check this out. So you can actually see pretty well on this one onto the neighbor's property. That dark line, that's the natural watershed. It kind of just, it ends up going into a ditch right about over there. Natural watershed comes right through here. And this spot right up here at the edge of my field was really getting washed out. I didn't realize how bad it was until I ran the combine over it this year, and it was rough. Now guys, this whole field up until last year was conventional tilled. The farmer before me ran a disc over it in the fall, a field cultivator in the spring, and he worked over these ruts. Now the ruts were gone, the washes were gone, but the whole field's soil organic matter and soil health wasn't improving at all. So this is more of a permanent fix. By squishing this down, yeah, it's gonna have some compaction issues, but it should keep from washing at least for another month or so until I can get the soybeans planted in here. And then this fall we'll end up putting in a pretty strong waterway all the way down, probably just some rye, maybe some fescues of some kind to hold this right here. And I'm coming back here and show you guys. Let's get down. now you can really see just how much of a fall it is and why it washes so bad. And from down here you can even see where the whole water, this whole top side section of this field drains to right here. So we got a lot of water that comes through here that we need to get safely off of the farm, surface water. So yeah, this is a good start to the waterway. Got a few more things I need to do before I call it completely done. This is number 2 down. I've got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 more that I want to do some work to, and then we should be good on waterways. So I'm gonna get back after it because we're burning daylight. Not that there's much. It's pretty overcast today, pretty nasty out. So I'm gonna jump back in the skidder and we're gonna get down to the hill, get to the next waterway, and hopefully get that one smoothed out. We're out here doing some waterway work again. I can show you what we're looking at. So basically, this right here sits low. And it goes back, you can actually see in the cover crop pretty well where that waterway goes and where it stays wet. Now, unfortunately, this isn't enough of a drop to actually get the water to go. Now, the county is working on digging out this ditch. They've actually been out surveying this week. So once they get this dug out, there should be enough drop to get it to go all the way down to the ditch down there. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna work backwards and just make a nice steady waterway. It'll kind of hook around to the right a little bit, basically to take that low spot out and hopefully get it to run down. We got another small one right over here we want to work on, and I haven't decided, but I might even put something in right here. This used to be an old oil well road, that's why it's so rocky. So it's this is high, this is low, this is low. It's kind of just a mess. So we're gonna get after it. I'm gonna jump back on the skidder with the power rake and we're gonna start doing some dirt work. We got the waterway finally finished up. It's one main long strip, starts way back here and it goes all the way down there. We've got one little finger off this way and one little finger right there. Now the main purpose of this waterway is to get the surface water off of all of this low spot. Should now drain properly, which should be able to increase our yields on this area because it's not going to get all flooded out. And I know what you guys are going to say. Oh, Matt, why don't you just get a spinner ditcher? Two things. Yes, that would be easier and a lot quicker. But for one, it's not a permanent fix. This is going to last much longer than a spinner ditcher ditch is. And two, the 806 doesn't have a 3-point hitch, so running a spinner ditcher without a 3-point hitch is impossible. So I'd have to rent a tractor, and by the time I borrow a tractor and a spinner ditcher, it's just as much convenient to just do this with the skid steer and make a permanent waterway. So appreciate you guys hanging out. I've got one more I want to do, just going to be real quick. It's pretty well already made. I just want to clean up some spots on it. Thanks for hanging out and watching us make these waterways. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.